Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about candlesticks. I'm going to make it super simple and super quick. But candlesticks is what makes up a chart. Most people use candlesticks these days. It has a body and a wick to it. Might be a little confusing for you if you're new. You're kind of looking at an entire chart and you're like, oh man, what is all this stuff here? It's kind of hard to understand at first, but once you get it, it's extremely simple. And it can really help you what's moving with price behind the scenes. It's kind of like, yeah, okay, I'm looking at the chart, it goes up like this, but you can really use candlesticks to understand what's actually happening with price, what's happening with the buyers versus the sellers, and which way might this chart be going, what's the probabilities on that. So it's really beneficial to actually understand the movements of the candlesticks so that you can become a better trader. So stick around because I'm going to give you a lot of secrets in this video. So a candlestick, so you understand, if essentially just real simple, if it's red, it means the price is going down, and if it's green, it means the price is going up. If you look at one candle here, and this, I'm on the daily time frame, it means that this one candle here represents an entire day. This whole candle right here represents an entire day. If I go to 4 hours, then all of these candles here, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these go through, that's a 4-hour time frame. If I go to the 1 hour, same thing. And then you can get all the way down to 1 minute and even below that. So each candle here is 1 minute, right? So going back to the daily time frame, this is just on the SPY, an ETF for the S&P 500. We can see here, we had a really green day, right? And you had a lot of people come in and buy and push price up very aggressively. So what actually makes up a candle? So here, this line here, and this line here on all of it, it's called a wick. So the line coming all the way down is the wick, and then the main part of the candle is called the body. So like I said, if it's red, then it means that the price is going down on that day. So it would mean that the price started here on the day. It actually at one point was all the way down here, right? And then came all the way up, and at one point it was all the way up here. So the wick is a representation of where the price went throughout the entire day. And then the body started here and ended up closing right here at 376.28. Okay? So on that day, it becomes a red candle because the price was higher to start and then lower to finish. And the wick is showing you where the price went throughout the day. So same thing here. Because it's green though, price would have started the day here, at one point was all the way down here, at one point was all the way up here, but when it came time for 4 p.m. and the day finished, price ended here. It's green because the price was up. So that's just a very simple explanation. But let's look at what's actually happening then. Based on that very simple information, I now know that, on the day when price was all the way down here, what would have psychologically happened, or what would have happened behind the scenes with this candle? It obviously got bought up aggressively, right? Because price came all the way down here and got pushed all the way back up. Now it started the day up here, right? And came all the way down, and clearly there were a lot of buyers that came in and said, no, all the way down here at 370, I want to buy the SPY, and they pushed it all the way back up to 376. So clearly we now know that when we're analyzing this candle, there were a lot of buyers that came in and wanted to push the SPY up. And then we have a continuation of that on this day. So you had price come all the way down here and it pushed it all the way back up again. You have a little bit of what's called a kind of an indecision candle here, where price was up here and down here, and you kind of had almost an even distribution of buyers versus sellers. And then you had here on that day, sellers were able to win over a little bit and push it all the way down. And then we can see as time went on, we had a huge gap up and you had an aggressive move and pushed the price up that way. So you could have looked back here and said, okay, there's indecision, but then the following day, there were a lot of buyers that came in here and pushed price all the way up. And then we see that those buyers have won out and it ended up flying all the way up. Another example would be if you're at the top end of something and you see here, that's not the best example. Let me see if I can find something a little better here. Here you would have seen aggressive red candle. So it kind of got to a point. It butted up against this price here, right? So it's kind of like up around here, can't do it, can't do it. and then we had a really aggressive red day with a full candle. So the price would have opened up here on that day and aggressively pushed it all the way down, with sellers winning out the entire day. And then we had it here again as well, right? So that's typically a sign that, okay, sellers are in control here when you see like aggressive candles. Just like when we saw here, you had buyers in control the entire day and just won out the entire day and then finished all the way up top. That's a really good day on the market, and then we see it following afterwards, continuing to push. I'm going to cut the video there because I don't want it to go for too long, but I hope this gives you a simple explanation of what's actually going on behind the candle so that you can understand candlesticks a little bit more. I'm also going to put up this image here so that you can pause the video and take a look. This is a really great explanation of a whole bunch of different patterns that you can look for in trading. I hope you have a good day. Thanks for sticking around. I'll catch you on the next one.